This lecture we are going to create a real-time Twitter application. So I will be creating 4 to 5 profiles first, and after that I will be showing how this platform works. So let's start creating with the first profile on this first device. So for that we need to hit this first screen, and automatically this is the second screen which the user is going to come across. Now let's set this create account option and create the first account. So this is the information which the user is required to enter. Here the user is required to upload his photograph. Okay, so this is the screen on which the user is going to see a GIF image. Now let's hit this next button and see what's going to happen. So the user's profile has got successfully created. His photograph is also getting reflected over here, and here is his profile. Okay, now let's create the second profile. So this is the second device, or you can say second browser, on which we are creating the second profile, and this is the required information. Okay, now we are required to hit this next button and see what's going to happen. So the second profile has also got successfully created, and when you will click on this, when the user will click on this button over here, automatically this side screen is going to appear where the user will be able to see her profile. Okay, so this is the second profile. Now let's go ahead and create the third profile. Okay, now let's hit this next button and see what's going to happen. So the third profile has also got successfully created. Now we are going to create the fifth profile. Okay, now let's hit this next button and see what's going to happen. So the fifth profile has also got successfully created, and here is the profile. Okay, now let's go ahead and create the fifth profile on this platform. So again we are going to follow the same steps. Here we need to upload the photograph for this fifth profile, and let's make use of this one. Okay, let's see whether the fifth profile has got successfully created or not. So the fifth profile has also got successfully created. This is the information. Okay, so now we have got 5 profiles created on this. One is with this name Gaurav, the second one is with this name Anita, Sanjay, Abhinav, and who else is there? Sneha. Okay, so these are the 5 people whose profiles are right now on this platform. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's search for Gaurav's profile on this using Sneha's ID. On this Sneha's platform, let's search for Gaurav's profile. So for that she needs to hit this search button, and here she is required to enter Gaurav's email address. Okay, so Gaurav's profile is getting reflected over here. Let's start following Gaurav. So for that, we need to hit this follow button over here. Okay, so Sneha has started following Gaurav. Let's see what is going to happen when we will hit this followers text over here. So the number of followers has got changed to 1. Okay, likewise, let's make use of this Abhinav's profile and search for Gaurav's profile. Here is Gaurav's profile. Let's hit this follow button. Okay, so Abhinav has also started following Gaurav. Now let's hit this text over here and see what's gonna happen. So the number of followers has got changed to 2. Uh, Here, let's hit this again and see what's gonna happen. So here also it is getting reflected as 2. Fine. Okay. Now let's make use of this Sanjay's profile and we are going to search for Gaurav's profile again. Okay, so Gaurav's photograph and everything is getting reflected over here. Now let's hit this follow button and see what's gonna happen. Okay, and let's hit this button text over here and see whether the number of followers are going to change or not. Yes, they have got the number of followers are now 3. Here also I think 3 is going to get reflected when we will hit this button, and here also 3 is going to get reflected. Okay, now let's come on Anita's profile. We are going to do the same thing. We are going to search for Gaurav's profile. Okay, fine. Okay, now the number of followers are 4. Fine. Let's now make use of who else is left. So I think we are done. The number of followers are now 4, and here also it is, this profile is also reflecting 4 and this one is also reflecting 4. Fine. Now let's come back. Okay, or else let's do one thing. Let's check out Gaurav's profile. So this is the device on which we created Gaurav's profile. Let's hit this button and see what's going to happen. So this is the screen Gaurav is going to come across. Now the number of followers should be 4. So for that we need to hit this text over here, and automatically the number of followers are going to get reflected. Let's hit this followers text and see what's going to happen. So here all the followers who are following Gaurav, their profiles are going to get reflected here. Now we can make use of these 2 buttons over here for checking out the followers profile, who all are following Gaurav. So Sanjay is following Gaurav, Anita is following Gaurav. Likewise we can check the profile of all the people. Let's hit this. Okay, Anita. Fine. So there are 4 people who are following at present his profile. Now let's click on this search button, and here we're going to look for Sneha's profile. So here everything is getting reflected. Sneha's photograph, Sneha's name and Sneha's email address. Now let's tap on this follow button and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so Gaurav has now started following Sneha. Now let's see what, Sneha is right now following Gaurav. So here if we will tap on this button, or you can see text, it should change to 1. It has got changed to 1, so it is also working fine. And number of followers of that Sneha has got on his board is equals to 1. So it is right. The number of followers are also getting correctly reflected. Now let's come on, whose profile is this? This is Sneha's profile. So here, how many people are following Sneha? Okay, only one. And how many people Sneha is following? Okay, she is also following one person. Who is he or she whom she is following? For checking that, we can tap on this, we can click on this text over here. Automatically we are going to come across all a page where all the profiles of all the people are going to get reflected, who uh, Sneha is following. So at present she is following only one person, that is Gaurav. Similarly, if she wants to know who is following her, so for that she can click on this followers tab. Right now Gaurav is following her. Now let's, whose profile is this? It is Abhinav's profile. Fine. So let's do one thing. Let's search for Sneha's profile. So Sneha's profile is getting reflected right now. Let's hit this follow button, see what's gonna happen. So Abhinav has now started following Sneha. So now the number of followers Sneha has got on her board is 2, and how many people she is following? She is following only one person. Fine. Now let's come back and see what we have got here. Okay. Now let's come back on Gaurav's profiles. This is Gaurav's profile. So how many people he is following? So he is following only one person. And what is his or her name? So it is Sneha, whom he is following. Okay, now let's come on Sneha's profile. So here, how many followers Sneha has? For that, she needs to tap on this text. And right now, she has got 2 followers. So this is a second follower. Abhinav is a second follower. This one, I think. Fine. And whom she is following? She is following Gaurav. So this is how this platform works. Now let's jump into the Codeorg platform and see how this app has been coded. So this is the first screen that the user is going to come across. Now when he will hit this screen, this we have got a GIF image over on this screen 1, and the image button, the name of the image button on which we have got the GIF image is image 1. So when the user will hit this image 1 button, he is going to get redirected on this screen 2, and this is screen 2. Okay. Again we have got an image button over here on this screen 2, the name of which is image 2, and this is the code for the same. Where is that? Image 2. Okay. We have got a button over here which the name of which is create account. So when the user will hit this create account, this is the code for the same. When the user will hit this create account button, automatically he is going to get redirected on screen 3. Now here the user is required to enter his details, his name, email address and date of birth. Once he is done with that, he can click on this next button, and this is the code for this next button present over here on this screen. Fine. When he will hit this next button, automatically he is going to get redirected on this screen 4, where he is required to upload his profile pic. Okay. So when the user is done with uploading his profile pic, he is required to hit this next button. So this is the code which is going to get executed when he will hit this next button. Automatically a table with name users is going to get created here on this data browser, and this is a table Okay, this is a kind of table which will get created, and here inside this table, everything whatever the user has entered on this platform while creating his profile, it is going to get saved in 4 different columns. The name is going to get saved here, email address, DOB, and profile pic. Fine. Likewise, okay, so this is the code for the same. Now let's come on. So once he's done with, once the table will get successfully created on the data browser of this application, the user is going to get redirected on this screen 6. Where is that? This is screen 6. Now here we have got a image button, fine, on which we have placed a GIF image. Now when the user will hit this next 6 button, what is going to happen? This is a code which is going to get executed when the user will hit this next 6 button. First of all, the user will be redirected on this screen 5. Okay, and here let me just show you how I have designed this screen 5. So initially this image button, this text, this one, these things will not be visible to the user. And this is a side screen, it's a simple image button that I've placed over this screen, which you are seeing right at the back side of this side screen. Okay, so here we have got an image button. Let me just enlarge the size of this so that it can be more visible to you. So here we have got an image button. Okay, this is the image button where the profile pic of the user is going to get reflected, and this is again a button which is the idea of which is side. So when the user will tap on this button, automatically everything, the side screen and everything on the side screen will be visible to the user. And this is image 5. This is image 5. Let me bring it back. Okay, now it is fine. So when the user will come on this screen, what is going to happen when the user will come on this screen 5? So the records will get read from the users table, okay, that has got created here on this data browser, and automatically everything image 6 will get in image 6 the profile pic will get reflected. Here on the side screen, the name of this component is image 9. So here the profile pic is going to get reflected, and name side is the ID of this component. Here the name of the user is going to get reflected, and here in this email side the email of the user is going to get reflected. So it will work like this. Let me just show it to you. So initially when the user will come on this screen, this is screen 5. This is a view of screen 5. So when the user will come on this, he will be able to see this thing only. He will not be able to see the side screen. So the user has to click on this button, the name of which is side. Okay, when he will click on this, automatically this side screen is going to get appear, and here the user will be able to see every information. Okay, all the information, the number of followers, whom he is following, everything will be visible to him. And when he will again click on this image 9, everything is going to get disappear. So we have coded this app in such a way. Let me just show you the code. So these are all the elements which I do not want initially to be visible to the user. Fine. Now let's come back on this code. Okay, so when the user will tap on the side button, where is the side button? I'm talking, this is the code for this buttons. This is a side button, okay, on this screen 5. So when the user will tap on the side button, automatically everything is going to appear. He will be able to see the side screen, and all the components which are there on the side screen will be visible to him. Likewise, when he will click on this image 5, image 5 is this. Okay, this is image 5. When he will click on this image 5, all the components of side screen along with the side screen will go disappear. He will not be able to see them. Let me just show it to you. Okay, right now we are able to see all the components, and now everything has got disappeared. So this is how this app has been coded. Now let's come on this search button code. So where is that search button? So this is the search button which is there on this screen 5. Okay, and let me just show it to you here also. So it is right in the, at the back side of this side screen. This is a search button. Right now it is not visible to you guys just because it's this side screen is there. It is just because this search button is not getting reflected, but when the user will come on this screen 5, he will be able to see this search button. Now when the user will hit the search button, I want the user to get redirected on this screen 9. Okay, and this is how he is going to get redirected. Fine. Now here on this screen 9, what is going to happen? So the user is required to enter the person whose profile he's looking for, his email address here in this search tab. Okay, the ID of which is search Twitter. The ID of this component is search Twitter, this one. Fine. So this is a condition that I have applied over here. So the records are going to get fetched up from the users table, and when the user is done with searching the required profile and he is required to click this search button over here, and automatically he is going to come across this screen. So what is the ID of this search button which is getting reflected over here? The ID of this one is search9, and this is a code for the same. Okay, on this screen 9 we have got a search button, the ID of which is search9, and when the user will hit this search button, automatically this code is going to get executed. Fine. And now the user will come on this screen 10, where he will be able to see the profile of the person, the ID of which he has entered in the search Twitter component of screen 9. Fine. Now let's come on this coding of this screen. So this is the code on event follow. So I have got a button defined on this screen just at the back side of this following button. The ID of this is follow. So at present the following button will not be, initially the following button will not be visible to the user. Okay, this is a button which the user is going to see here when he will come on this screen. Fine. And this is a button which I've placed on this follow button like this. Okay, and this is how I design every screen. These are simple screenshots that I've taken from my mobile, and I've placed it over here. So it's not a very big deal. You guys can also do it on your own if you will try it once. So when the user will hit this follow button, which is there right in the back side of this following button, automatically this is a code which is going to get executed. So there will be two tables which are going to get created on the data browser of this mobile application. So one is with this name, whatever ID the user has entered in the search Twitter box, plus the follower. Okay, with this whole name, a table is going to get created. Now inside this table, this is the information which is going to get saved. So the person who is who has hit this button, his email address, his name, his photograph, plus along with his email address again, all these things are going to get saved in this table. Besides, there will be one more table which will get created, and it will be with this ID, get text email. So whatever email address. So why I have created this table? In order to calculate the number of users, okay, the number of followers, the people who are following this person. And I have created this table in order to know the number of people whom this person is following. Okay, so this is a trick that I have used. Let me just show it to you. So this, suppose Abhinav has started following someone. So this is the information that is there inside the table following. So we have got a what we say column over here named following. So Abhinav is right now following Gaurav and Sneha. Fine, this is what it means. Likewise, if we'll see this table, follower table. So we have got this thing over here. So follower, who is following this person, Gaurav. Who is following this? Sneha is following Gaurav. Abhinav is following Gaurav. Sanjay is following Gaurav. Anita is following Gaurav. Remember, we send the following request with these IDs right in the beginning. So at that time this table has got created. So this is how this code is going to help us finding out the number of followers and the number of people who are following. Fine, the number of people whom a particular person is following and the number of followers of a particular person. This is what these two tables are going to help us with in calculating these two things. These two tables are going to help us. Now let's come on this. Let me just show you the whole code also. So this is the whole code. Okay, it's very simple. If you will use this trick, it will be very easy for you to make this Twitter kind of application. Now let's come on this on event follows number. So this is the button that I've got over here. The ID of this one is followers number, and the ID of this one is following number. So when the user will hit this followers number, okay, I want to see the people whom this user is following, the profile of which is getting reflected over here on screen 5, right? On screen 10, sorry. So for doing that, I need to tap on this button and automatically what is going to happen? See, like this. Okay, right now she is following 2 people. Fine. And number of people whom right now she has got 2 followers and there is only one person whom she is following. Okay, so this is how these two buttons are going to work. Now let me just show you the code of these 2 buttons. So when the user will hit this followers number button, this code is going to get executed. So we have got the information in this table, right? Following table. Sorry, this is for this following button. So when the user will hit this button, automatically this is a code which is going to get executed and the information is going to get fetched up from this table, from this following table. Fine. And the text is going to get reflected over here. This is the code which is going to get executed. And likewise, when the user will hit this followers number, this button, automatically from this table the records are going to get fetched up and the number of followers are going to get reflected here with the help of this code. Now when the user will hit this back follow button, what is going to happen? So the user is going to get redirected on this screen 5 and the following button will no more be visible to the user. It will go hidden. The followers number, they are going to go null and the following number button, it is going to go null. Fine. Now let's come on screen 5. What do we have on screen 5? So this is what we have on screen 5. So when the user will tap on this image 5, he is going to see this side screen, right? Now for fetching the information for these 2 components, followers and following, we have defined these codes over here. So for this followers button, this is a code. In order to know the number of followers, the user can hit this button over here, and automatically with the help of this code he will be able to fetch the required information. Likewise, if we want to check out the number of people whom he is following at present, so he can tap on this button and he will be able to see the number of people whom he is following. Right, now let's come on. See, when the user will hit this, there is one more thing over here. So if we want to check out the profiles of all the people whom he is following, so he need to hit this following button. Okay, automatically he's going to get redirected on which screen. Let me just show you the screen. So this is the code. Just a second, where is the code? Okay, and okay, the user is going to get redirected on this following screen. So this is a screen the user is going to come across. Now here, we have got three components. One is this photo following, one is with this ID name following, and one is with this ID email following. You're not able to see the name following and email following just because the background color of these two components is white. Fine. So for these three components, the compiler is going to fetch the information from this table when the user will hit this following button. Let me just show it to you practically. So when the user will hit this following button over here, he will be able to see the profile of the people whom he is following. Okay, so this is what is getting fetched from this code. Okay, this is a table from which the records are going to get fetched up, and this is the code. Now let's talk about this next and previous button. So we have got this next and previous button. The way we have coded the next and previous button in Blogger application while creating that real-time blogging application, the same way we have coded the next and previous button here also. So when the user will hit this next button, automatically the value of this variable is going to get incremented by 1, and the records are going to get pulled up from this table. The condition which I have defined over here is this. Okay, so when the user will hit this button, the records, he will be able to see the records of the person whose ID is 2, right? Because the value of x is going to get incremented by 1. Likewise, when he will hit this previous button, what is going to happen? The value of x is going to get decremented. It is going to get decreased by 1, and the user will be able to see the previous profile. Okay, so this is the whole code that I've used for doing the same. If you guys want, you guys can take the help from that Blogger application. If you are not aware of this code, it will be very helpful for you. And we have got a back following button also. Now when the user will hit this, tap on this button, what is going to happen? Let me just show it to you practically. So this is the back following button. So this is what is going to happen. So the side screen will be no more visible to the user because I have coded the application so. Okay, because here what is happening, all the elements are going to go hidden when the user will tap on that following button, on this following button. Everything is going to go disappear. And now when the user will hit this back button, he will again see this screen like this. Now he has to hit this, he needs to hit this send button, and automatically, he needs to hit this button which is present over here. Automatically his profile will be visible to him again. Now the way I have coded this following thing, the same way I have coded this following button also. So what I have done, from this point, this buttons coding is starting. This is the following button, and this is a point from where its coding is starting. So what I have done, I've copied this whole code from this point. I've copied the whole code from this point uh, till this point, and I have made use of the same. I've pasted the same here, and I have made use of this code for coding, for defining the code for this followers button too. So whatever is happening when we are clicking on this following button, the same thing is going to happen with this followers button also. So the user is going to get redirected on this followers screen that I've defined over here, and this is the whole code. The only thing that I have changed is this. I've changed this following with follower. Okay, I've changed the name of the components also. Fine. And this is the code for the next button that I've defined over here. Next follower, next followers. Okay, and this is what is going to happen. For this I have made use of this y variable. So the name of the variable I have changed, and this is what is going to happen. It is going to I've coded it in the same way, the way I've coded the next button of following screen, and I've coded this previous button also in the same way I've coded the previous button of that following screen. This is the whole code. Let me just show you the whole code. Okay, and this is the code for this button, previous followers. And last but not the least is the code for this back follows button, which we have defined over here. Fine. Now let me convert it back into block based code and show you the whole code one more time. Right from the top, I'm going to show you the whole code. So these are all the components which will not be visible to the user initially. This is the code for image 1. This is for creating account. Fine. This is a code for next 3 button. It is here. This is a code for next pick button, where it is. This is a button. So when the user will click on this button, this is a table which is going to get created, which will be created on the browser connected to the app, and the user will automatically get redirected on this screen 6, where he is going to see GIF image. Now when the user will tap on this next 6 button, this is the code which is going to get executed. Okay, the table, the records are going to get read from the table's users, and they will get reflected on the side screen as well as on this screen 5. This is the whole code. This is a code for what is going to happen when the user will click on this image 5. So everything which is getting reflected over here on this side screen, it is going to disappear. This is a code for search button. Where is that search button? Let me just show you the search button also. Sorry, I think the search button is here only. So it's right at the back of this side screen. So when the user will tap on this search screen, he's going to get redirected on this screen 9. So here he can search for the profile of whatever user he wants to. He would like to follow. Okay, this is the whole code. This is the code for that follow button. And I would like you all to do some hard work. I don't want you guys to check the video and then ask me for the links, because this YouTube channel that I have made, it's for your knowledge. I don't want anyone of you guys to pay me anything, or this YouTube channel that I've made is for you guys. Okay, it's for your knowledge. I want you guys to learn coding in a very good manner. That is the reason I'm creating such good videos. Fine, so please do share the link of my videos and channel with your colleagues so that they can also get the benefit of free online coding classes. Share with, once you are done with getting 100 users on my board, please share the snapshots of those users. Please share the snapshots of your contributions with me on my WhatsApp number, and I will be giving you free online coding classes. This is my promise to you. Fine. And so I think I'm done with this lecture. Thank you very much for watching this lecture and supporting me. Have a great day and God bless you with a great future. Bye bye everyone.